populations will be 9.3 billion people. The food shortages that could manifest in the next 25 years, the consequences of that is unimaginable. Civil wars will unfold across the world once there is food shortage. What we are facing now is if you ate one orange in 1920s, what you got from it. Now in 2020, if you have to get the same, you will have to eat 8 oranges.
So sorry if I sound crazy.
No. Nice.
It's interesting because I didn't know but at the same time, the efforts to get the public to know about, I think, is futile. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Individuals don't make a difference.
You ready for the video?
Yes.
Let's do it. Conscious practice. What's conscious? This is Vish and
Brandon,
and today we'll be responding to Sadhguru's video on
what is the biggest threat to our lives?
My name is Vish. I'm an aspiring yogi. Love all things meditation, yoga, and wisdom based. Super grateful to have
Brandon
on the show. Brandon, want to introduce yourself?
I'm a 5th-year rhetoric and writing major from Dallas, Texas.
Brandon, do you know who Sadhguru is by any chance?
No.
What do you think the greatest threat to our lives right now is?
The few men who have a lot of power and are just playing the world like chess.
Would love to hear what you all think about what the greatest threat is before we start the video. Let us know in the comments down below. And with that,
let's get into the video.
We are talking about climate change, carbon emissions, and global warming and various other aspects. But we are not addressing soil. Soil is the habitat upon which zillions of lives thrive. Once there is no richness in soil, then you have forsaken the planet in many ways. Every responsible scientist in the world and the UN agencies are clearly saying we have only 80 to 100 harvests left. That means approximately 45 to 50 years of agricultural soil left on the planet. By 2045, we will be producing 40% less food than what we are producing right now, and our populations will be 9.3 billion people. The food shortages that could manifest in the next 25 years, the consequences of that is unimaginable. Civil wars will unfold across the world once there is food shortage. What we are facing now is soil extinction. Why is soil becoming extinct? Where is it going away? What is happening to our soil? We must understand, if you add organic content to sand, sand will turn into soil. If you remove all organic content from the soil, soil will become sand. In normal agricultural soil, the minimum organic content should be between 3 to 6%. The most minimum is 3%. At least this minimum to keep the soil alive, to keep the soil as living soil is a must. Agricultural soils across the world, the depletion is so heavy, in most countries, more than 50% of the topsoil is already gone in the last 100 years. The nutrient levels have dropped significantly. The level of micronutrients you would get from your food in early 20th century to what you are getting from the same food now has dropped 90%. If you ate one orange in 1920s, what you got from it. Now in 2020, if you have to get the same, you will have to eat 8 oranges. This is what we have done to our food.
Soil is the biggest ecosystem on the planet, and so few people know anything about it. 1 teaspoon of healthy soil probably contains more microbes than there are people on Earth.
The microbial life in the first 12 to 15 inches of topsoil is the basis of our existence. It is this magic beneath our feet which has produced the life that we are. This first 12 to 15 inches of soil is the basis of life for 87% of life on this planet, including you and me.
We have to begin to recognize that what we call our soil, Mother Earth, is a living organism.
Open soils, ripped open by ploughing, open to sunlight, is the basis of destruction of microbial life. So the focus should be on agriculture, the focus should be on seeing that land is under shade as much as possible, some kind of shade, grasses, herbs, bushes, trees. Conscious Planet is launching SAVESOIL movement to bring about a policy change to regenerate soil. As a part of this, I'm 65 and I'm riding 30,000 kilometers, a lone motorcycle journey, 30,000 kilometers across 24 nations to activate support from the citizenry to assure the governments long-term investments will be appreciated. So it's extremely important that soil regeneration is enshrined in the policy of every government on the planet. We must change the narrative on the planet that soil is a wealth, a legacy we have received from previous generations, and we have to pass it on as living soil for future generations. We are in a cusp of time. If you do the right things now, in the next 15 to 25 years, we can significantly turn this situation around and regenerate the soil. But if we allow this to progress like this for another 30 to 40 years, after 40 years if we attempt this, then it could take 150 to 200 years because that much loss of biodiversity would have happened. From 21st of March for 100 days, the whole world, every human being on the planet should talk soil. So we must hear the word soil, save soil everywhere to see that the narrative on the planet changes towards the most vital aspect of our life, the soil. Each one of you should reach as many people as you can to make this happen. Many global leaders and influencers are already participating in the movement. Be a part of this and let us make it happen.
From my part, as much as I can contribute.
We're going to save the soil. Do your part.
And saving the soils.
Our future, our children's future, and our planet's future depend on it.
Save the soil.
We know what we must do, so let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
So Brandon, what are your first thoughts after watching this video?
It's interesting because I didn't know like soil being like healthy soil was such a big issue, but at the same time, like the efforts to get the public to know about soil, I think is futile.
Why do you think that?
Because like I think like issues with like climate change and stuff has to do more with like big corporations getting away with like doing damage to the earth, and people try these efforts focus on like the individual efforts, but like that's not enough. And so whenever I see like videos like this, I can't help but feel a little disillusioned and like pessimistic. I want to believe in it, yes, and I can recognize that like it's well intentioned. It's just that I don't think it's enough.
That's a great perspective, and I do want to say that I appreciate your transparency here on that, because that is something I actually completely endorse on this show. It's like being yourself and sharing your views, and that is interesting. So would you say that let's put it this way, there's no question that big companies and what was the term that you call them? Corporations, yeah, tend to have huge effects and can, whether it's for the positive or negative, right? But are you suggesting that individuals don't make a difference, or it's not enough? What exactly are you trying to say?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Individuals don't make a difference.
Okay, and that's fair, but what about this with regards to, I guess one example is recycling, right? So recycling, when I was younger, I think it used to kind of be like a a fashion-y thing, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm a recycle, but it wasn't really that big. But I don't know about your house now, but almost every house I know of now in my neighborhood has a recycling box, and even wherever we go, there's literally recycling trash cans. So don't you think that starting at the individual level could be one way to go? And it just takes more time, but it's important to also take that route?
No, I still don't think it's enough. Like your whole
For recycling?
Yeah, I applaud your neighborhood for all of them doing it. I think it's wonderful, but it's still not enough. Like great strides. Well, how do I word this? Great enough strides aren't being made. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm so sorry. Like I'm just not eloquent with my speaking.
But I think you're having some great, interesting points there for sure. And so I guess with that being said, what do you think is a way to go then? If the small or individual isn't the way to go, what do you think we should do? Or just nothing?
I know I hate that like I'm pointing out this issue without like really offering a solution, and I know that's kind of bad, but at the same time, because I don't think that like doing these things at the individual level is enough, my next go-to is like maybe changing policy, but we've been trying to do that for many decades.
Have we not made progress?
I mean we have, but again, I don't think it's enough or fast enough.
Okay, but it's better than nothing.
Sure, but still, like, it's better than nothing, but we're still gonna die.
Oh, we're delaying that.
Yeah, delaying it. But the thing is,
buying us more time.
I don't want to delay it, and I don't want to buy us more time if it's inevitable that we're just gonna die anyway.
Okay, but okay, that's interesting.
It must sound so crazy.
That's okay. No, again, here's the thing, right? I think it's super okay to have these views, and that's important. So thank you for sharing that. Yeah. And I think it's definitely interesting. I will say this one thing. I've heard this story actually, and I'm gonna share this with you real quick. It's about this girl who was on the seashore, throwing back the turtles, I think, into the water, right? And essentially, she was throwing a bunch, and there was like millions on. This is an analogy story, so let's just take it as it is. Okay. And then there's millions, but she was, trying her best, throwing one at a time. And then some guy comes by and asks her, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she says, "Oh, I'm just, putting them back because they're stranded on the sand." And he laughed at her. He was like, "Ha, silly girl. What do you mean? There's millions. Do you think you'll make any difference?" And then she took another turtle, threw it back in, and said, "Well, it made a difference to this one." So, any change in views after that story? Like, you can still make a difference, right? Maybe it's not significant, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, is it worth noting if the difference isn't really...
Don't you feel like you'd feel good, though, if you were to do it yourself? Like, obviously, you can't change the world, right? But you can change yourself. And if you could change the way you do certain things, whether it's recycling or anything, right? Just taking care of yourself, taking care of the environment, don't you think you would feel good about yourself?
Is the goal to feel good about myself?
It can be.
That's not my goal, though.
What is your goal then?
My goal is for everyone to to be able to live to the end of their lifespan without having to worry about the end of the world, through climate change.
Well, I appreciate you sharing these perspectives. I think you did great, honestly. This is definitely going to be a unique perspective on the show, but that's okay. No, I'm
so sorry if I sound crazy.
No. Listen, there's no... Especially with a lot of these things, there's no right or wrong. So thank you so much. If you have any other video reaction requests, topics, or guests that you want to see on the show, you can also comment down below. With that, make it a great day. Take this joyful and stay conscious. Awesome job. You did amazing.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Of course. I hope it goes well, your video.
No, that was great.